Hey guys, it's Sarah. Thank you so much for watching. So today I wanted to do a video that was kind of inspired by a recent video from my friend Kaylee Balte here on YouTube. She did a video talking about some neglected products in her collection that she wants to make an effort to use in 2019. I thought that was such a good idea, especially as, you know, a lot of us are kind of starting our project plans for the year. A lot of people I know are doing low buys or no buys, and I think overall a lot of people in the YouTube community, both viewers and YouTube creators, are moving towards more using what you have, which I love. Today I wanted to do a video kind of bouncing off of Kaylee's idea, and I'm going to be doing a full face of products that I have been neglecting. Many of these things were actually in my Shop My Stash for January, and they were put in that Shop My Stash for that reason. A lot of these are things that weren't in my Shop My Stash. I kind of just went through my whole collection and grabbed for things that I was like, wow, I haven't used this in a while, or wow, I don't even know how this performs because I've hardly gotten a chance to know this product. So I've kind of filled this whole shoebox right here full of products that I haven't used in a while, things that I've been neglecting in my collection. This is the kind of final look I came up with. I had a lot of fun doing it, so let's go ahead and get started. So I have already moisturized my skin for foundation. I'm going to use my Balm Shelter Tinted Moisturizer. I haven't used this in quite a while, even though this is one of my favorite types of products to wear, especially in the colder months, because it's light coverage but it's moisturizing. It's a pretty light coverage product, but I feel like my skin has actually been in pretty good shape lately, and there's not a ton to cover outside of just like normal redness. I don't have a ton of breakouts right now, which is awesome. Trying to like ride that wave as long as I can. Alright, so that's on. I think I'm gonna actually add a little bit more. I didn't do a very thick layer. This is a really nice tinted moisturizer, and it's not very greasy, so I think that you would like it whether you have dry skin or oily skin. I think it would be good for pretty much any skin type. I've kind of like fallen out of using tinted moisturizers lately, even though they're one of my favorite types of complexion products to use, so I'm happy to be rediscovering it now. One thing that I've been neglecting, even though it is rather new to me, is this First Aid Beauty Eye Duty Triple Remedy. I can't really figure out this product because I feel like it's supposed to be an eye cream, but then it has like this peachy tint to it, and I think it actually has some coverage. So I'm not sure if this is meant to be an eye gel or like a corrector because of the peachy undertone, or like a very light coverage concealer. I just can't seem to figure it out. But I mean, it feels really nice going on. I guess it's just one of those products that I haven't been using because I can't figure out how I should really use it. But I just, most of the time I kind of just use it underneath actual concealer just to kind of moisturize and like brighten my under eyes a little bit. But that metal piece that you use to blend it in does feel really nice and cooling. I just don't know that it's worth the price tag, because I'm pretty sure e.l.f. makes something like that too. Since I really only have 2 concealers in my collection and I don't really feel like I've been neglecting either one of them, I'm just going to keep using my Tarte Maracuja Creaseless Concealer. This is just a little sample that I've been kind of working through. I actually really like this. It has quite a bit of coverage, and I actually really like to just blend it in with my finger. I usually don't, but for some reason this particular formula just blends in really nicely with my finger. It just melts into the skin so easily that way. I am gonna grab a brush to just kind of blend out the edges of that. Oh crap! Before I sat down I told myself I was gonna do my eye makeup first. This is what happens. I always tell myself I'm gonna try like a new thing and then I forget. And like the routine of putting my face makeup on first is just so ingrained in me. Dang it. Oh well. The powder I'm gonna use to set my under eyes is the one in the Wet n Wild contouring palette. I have definitely been neglecting this over the past like 6 months or however long. The other contour duo I have was in my project pan last year. I like didn't use this at all, so this is kind of like a rediscovered product. It's also in my project pan for 2019 that I just started, so I've been using this the past few days, but it's definitely a product that has been neglected in my collection for a long time. I actually really like the lighter shade for setting the under eyes. It definitely does smooth it out, and it doesn't look too dry, so I like that. For powder, I'm just going to use my Wet n Wild Conceal and Perfect powder. This does have some coverage, so hopefully it can kind of even out my skin tone. It's not necessarily a neglected product because right now this is the only pressed powder, or the only setting powder for my face that I have, so I didn't really have anything in that category that was neglected. Okay, now I am going to contour with the deeper shade in this contour duo. Another neglected product is this e.l.f. face palette. This has a bronzer, a highlight, and 2 blushes. I'm gonna go in with that bronzer and just kind of warm up the rest of my face. It's a nice matte bronzer, and it's a lighter color than that contour that I just used, so it's nice for just kind of warming up the rest of my face. I think I'm gonna use this slightly more like muted peachy color that's in here. These are 2 of my many peachy blushes. I've already hit serious pan on the bronzer and the highlighter in here, so I really need to work on hitting pan on those blushes because, I mean, I just have more blushes in my collection than I do bronzers and highlighters, so a lot of times I'll use this brush for a lot of times I'll use this palette for the bronzer and the highlighter, but then I'll go and I'll use a different blush. Plus I just don't use as much blush at a time, so I just don't go through those as quickly. So I'm trying to decide, I kind of want to use, okay, this e.l.f. baked highlighter in Blush Gems is one that I haven't used in quite a while. Unfortunately, this highlighter is a little bit dark for me, so I usually like to use it just kind of as a blush topper. So I think I'll do that. I'll use my highlighter brush, but I'm gonna kind of target it more on my, like the apples of my cheeks. I can't go too high on my cheekbones with it because it's just too dark for that. But that's got a nice, really pretty effect. Yeah, I haven't reached for this highlighter in a long time, mostly because I was busy panning a highlighter in last year's Project Pan. And so this highlighter just kind of got pushed to the back of my drawer and didn't get used, which is really sad. I need to make an effort to use everything in my collection, even when I have a Project Pan going on, because I don't want to just neglect certain products just because I'm panning other ones, you know? Like, all of my collection is, you know, deserves to be used at some point. So anyway, I'm gonna highlight my actual cheekbones with the highlighter that's in this e.l.f. face palette. I'm gonna do a little bit on the nose as well. This is in no way a neglected product because it's brand new to me, but I don't really have a setting spray that I've been neglecting because I don't have very many of them. But I just recently got the Pixi Glow Mist, and I'm gonna put some on. I've heard a lot of people say that the sprayer on this isn't very good, but I feel like mine is really good. Or maybe I've just heard that they're kind of inconsistent, like some of them will be really good and some of them will just like shoot out really hard. I don't know, this one is really nice. It's like a nice fine mist. I sprayed a ton on. I probably sprayed way more than I should have, but sometimes I just can't help it. I got it like all over my shirt too. Oh my gosh, and my hair, wow. So the brow product I'm gonna use is the Wet n Wild Retractable Brow Pencil in the shade Taupe. As far as brow products in my collection, this one definitely gets neglected a lot because I don't love it, but I can make it work. It's just not as easy for me to work with as the NYX one, the NYX Micro Brow, but this one's fine. So this is what I'm using right now. I have to just be like a little bit more careful with it because it doesn't have as fine of a tip. So I'm gonna do my eyes now, and the palette that I've pulled out that I have definitely been neglecting for like several months now is actually the Norvina palette. I reviewed this on my channel a few months ago, and it's just something about this palette. It's not my favorite, but the shades in here, like a lot of these shades, especially these metallic shades, are really pretty. So I want to do something with it. I feel like I need to use it because, I mean, I paid $42 for it, which is not a small amount of money in my opinion. I want to see if I can find some inspiration in this palette because a lot of times I look at it and I think that it just intimidates me a little bit, not because the colors are necessarily intimidating colors, it's just the layout, and I don't know, when I look at it, I almost don't know what to do with it, you know what I mean? I am gonna go in with the NYX Glitter Primer because you kind of have to with these really chunky glittery shades. They are very, very chunky and they can definitely produce a lot of fallout, which is why I wanted to do my face makeup second. But of course I forgot, so we're just gonna try to be really careful. The glitter primer definitely helps, but it's still, this palette, in my opinion, has more fallout than the Subculture palette, which a lot of people think that palette is bad. I don't know, this one's way worse, in my opinion. For reference, on my lips, I think I'm gonna be using the Ofra liquid lipstick in Laguna Beach. This is a lipstick that I haven't used in a long time, and so that's why I'm using it for this video. But I think it'll go nicely with pretty much any look that I do with this palette, but I'm gonna try to figure out a good like color combo. I'm gonna do rose gold on the lid. This is a beautiful shade. These glitter shades are just so chunky. They're just really chunky, like beyond. I'm usually not bothered by that, but I mean, look at that pigmentation though. Like it really packs a punch. It's just kind of hard to work with. All right, I'm gonna do Incense in the crease. It's this warm brown shade. I think the thing about this palette is that it's probably better suited for deeper skin tones. Like, a lot of these shadows, they just lean dark, a little dark for me. And I think that might be part of the reason why I personally just have trouble with it. This looks like a mid-tone shade, this Incense, but it goes on kind of just dark. Like, I need a lighter crease shade than that. So, you know, maybe this palette really is just better suited for deeper skin tones. I mean, that's fine. Like, there's plenty of palettes that are better suited for fair skin tones, so I'm not really necessarily complaining. I'm just thinking maybe it's just not for me. I don't know. But then again, I mean, I have come up with some beautiful looks with it, and the shadows themselves, like pigmentation-wise, are like crazy beautiful. Now I'm gonna take Love, which is the matte pink in here, and kind of work that into the outer corner. I don't know how this is gonna turn out, but blend it a little bit into the crease. I don't know, this is kind of turning out pretty. I don't know how I got this edge to be so sharp without using like tape or something, but wow, looks pretty good. I'm using this e.l.f. detail crease brush. This makes like outer crease work and like outer V stuff like so much easier. Okay, this look is kind of growing on me. I kind of want to take a little bit more of rose gold with my finger and just pat that onto the inner part of my lid and the center of my lid just to redefine it. Wow, this look turned out really warm. I don't even know what's happening. Okay, I'm gonna highlight my brow bone with Base, which is the matte kind of eggshell color in here. Then I'm just gonna highlight my inner corner with Dreamer, which is that very light shimmery shade. Now for my lower lash line, I'm just going to smudge kind of whatever's left on this detail crease brush of that pink shade onto the lower lash line. I actually don't mind this look now that it's coming together. It's very pink. I'm gonna take a little Wild Child, which is the shimmery pink, and pop that kind of on the inner part of my lower lash line just to brighten things up. I mentioned in my recent Shop My Stash video that I really have not been using my pencil liners very much, especially just this basic black pencil liner. I don't know why, I just don't think to use it very often, but I'm gonna actually line my waterline with this, my tight line. It's not something I do very often. Alright, so I just did my mascara with the CoverGirl Supersizer mascara. That is on both the top and bottom lashes. So for the lips, I want to use the Ofra liquid lipstick in the shade Laguna Beach. For some reason, even though I love this lip product, I have not used it in a very long time. I can't even remember the last time I wore this. But I think it'll go nicely with this eye look. I guess I'm kind of going for like a monochromatic pink look today, but it's just a really pretty like mauvey pink. and I don't know why I don't wear it more often. Probably because I just don't wear liquid lipsticks all that often. Okay, so I think that's the final look. Actually, I really like the way it turned out. I know I was kind of complaining about this Norvina palette, but I mean, it really can create some beautiful looks. I just kind of have to be a little bit more careful with it, I guess. But I mean, I cannot deny that some of these shimmer, like super metallic glitter shadows are absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I kind of like this like monochromatic pink look I did, and I like the way that it paired with the lip. Overall, I had a lot of fun playing with some products that I have not used in a while. I'm probably gonna have to pull this palette out more often because it is, it is really beautiful. Anyway, that is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this little like throwback get ready with me using some products that I haven't used in a while. If you enjoyed, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. I do lots of videos about shopping your stash, project panning. All of the products I use are cruelty-free, so if you would like to stick around for future videos, I'd love for you to subscribe, and I will talk to you guys next time.